Grandparenting has changed dramatically through the years. Families are spread out across the country, and everyone is busier than ever before. So, how can grandparents really stay connected with their grandchildren? Here with tips are Julia Valentine, the author of Joy Compass, How to Make Your Retirement the Treasure of Your Life, and Deborah Long, Vice President of Grandparents.com. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I didn't even know there was a Grandparents.com.
Well, there is a Grandparents.com, and we've been around for a few years now. We have a user base that's about 500,000 strong right now, and growing every day, because you probably know this, there is a new grandparent every 20 seconds in this country. So this is a great show to be having today.
Well, let's talk about the dynamics of the family, really the connection between grandparents and grandchildren. Many of them are raising their grandchildren.
That's true. The last census study showed that there has been a 20% increase in multi-generational homes over the census that was taken 10 years previously. And so that the downside of it is of course that people perceive it's problematic, and in fact most of our users tell us that quite the opposite is true. They love being in this multi-generational home.
Mm-hmm. What are your...
Yeah, there is research that actually proves it. You know, when we think about creating well-being, what is well-being? There are a few components to it. There is life evaluation, so that's our mental, how is my life working? How well does it work for me? And then there's positive feelings and negative feelings. And connections with people, love, connection to your family, your friends, your grandchildren, contributes directly to positive feelings. Money, respect, authority does not.
Is that love? Do you really want that love connection?
Is that love? Exactly. When you have enough money, you think that, oh, my life is great. Mentally, you like it. Mentally, you enjoy it. And you avoid having negative feelings. But it does not create that positive feeling of, I really love my life. And grandkids do. Any connection, you know, connection to other human beings we love is
There is that special bond between grandparents and grandchildren. All right, so let's just say your grandparent lives far away. How do you stay connected?
Well, Skype is the easiest and probably most direct way, and we see a huge growth in the use of Skype now. And also, there's so many ways that you can interact with your grandchildren from a distance. We talk about those in some of our activity sections on the site, and there are so many I couldn't really. I was trying to pull out one or two that I could think of right off the top of my head to help.
Well, you have
Redio might be watching. Yes,
but there's there's Redio.
Redio lets you read the book together with your grandchild, especially, you know, if you don't have an opportunity to sit down next to them. You know, the book is right in front of you, and you're reading it, the kid is looking at it as well, and it creates that bond. Because, you see, the difficulty with Skype is that how do you actually keep the child in front of that screen, right? They need that constant stimulation, the activity. If you manage to create that special bond by doing something together, that's what you want. Or other activities on your site, right?
Yeah. We have some really neat things. We have a benefits club that we started, and there are some products in there that I didn't know about until I started working in the back end of the club. And there are these services, like there's something called Real.com, where you can build a biography of yourself for your child, and it's an actual film, and people are doing them for milestone birthdays and for weddings and anniversaries, but it's a great thing to give to your grandkids.
Yeah. That is such a gift to give your history.
Exactly.
Your
Exactly.
grandchildren don't know your history.
And they're beautiful. I've seen some of the prototypes, and I thought, wow, that's great. And also you can get these there are books that are called Smile books, and mostly you can create them for free.
That's quite a legacy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what are some of the tips for building strong relationships. You say don't buy love.
No, don't buy love. One of our senior editors just finished writing a book called, I have to look at the title, it's called The Modern Grandparent Handbook. And her name is Georgia Witkin. She's a doctor. in New York, a psychiatrist, and she says, don't buy love. In the section of her book that's dedicated to helping you be the most popular grandparent, she said, we all want that. We might not like to admit it, but we want to be the most favorite one. And she said, if you want to be the favorite grandparent, don't try to buy their love. She suggests that you try a moratorium on buying gifts or giving candy or any kinds of special treats, and just let your grandchild interact with you. Play games with them, hang out with them, tell them stories, teach them songs, let them cook with you, anything that doesn't cost money, so that builds in yourself the knowledge that you're important and you're valued, not for the things you give, but for the things you are.
Right. So don't be excessive with gifts. So basically listen to
the
your
gift of time, right? The gift of time, that
time.
Connection is what we carry with us.
Georgia, we talked earlier in the show about people being so busy now, and one of the reasons that Georgia says grandparents are such important players in a child's life now more than ever is because parents don't have time to listen. They're running in 6 different directions at the same time, but a grandparent can really give a child one-on-one attention, and that's invaluable.
And you also say find similarities. What do you mean by that?
Find similarities between yourself and your grandchild. Georgia's technique I kind of like. She says make lists, like do a top, she says top 3, I think like a top 5 list, and then just go through your top 5 and your bottom 5 of movies, books, vegetables, flowers, and colors, seasons, whatever it is. And when you speak to your grandchild, if your grandchild doesn't live nearby, make sure that you drop those into the conversation. You know, oh, I had to eat our last favorite vegetable today, you know, or gee, the sky was so beautiful. Aren't you glad summer's our favorite season? And build the connections that way by reminding your grandchildren how much you have in common with them.
Julia, really quickly, what do you want to add to that?
I think that one of the most beautiful relationships I've enjoyed was with my grandparents, and I want every child to feel that love, that unconditional love. Because remember, parents are responsible for the children's achievements and performance and all that, you know? As grandparents, they can just love unconditionally and spoil the heck out of them.
That's right. Grandchildren love that. Thank you so much. We're out of time. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having us.
You're welcome.